It's funny how the small things a lot of times can shape your path. For me, there was a couple of events that at the time I didn't really think they were that big a deal, or I didn't think they would play that big an influence. But looking back, they really, helped shape my career and helped shape who I am, and actually is a big reason why I'm an ops professor. The first actually was at my first co-op job. I was 19 years old, working in Tifton, Georgia. Now, at Tifton, there wasn't a lot to do. It was pretty slow, pretty laid back. The big event of the week was going to the Sizzler on Friday for lunch. And so I had a lot of free time. I worked at a spark plug wire manufacturer, and there, one of the other co-op I worked with, he was a mechanical engineer, and he used to design these tools for the production line in AutoCAD. And I thought it was the coolest thing, and I wanted to do it. Now, I didn't know how to do any design, but I wanted to at least learn AutoCAD. And so with his help in my free time, I taught myself AutoCAD. Now, I never used it there in that co-op job, but a couple quarters later, I decided to switch jobs. And I switched jobs to a small consulting firm in Atlanta that designed distribution centers. The only reason I got that job was because I knew AutoCAD and I could do layouts for them. That then led to, once I graduated from Georgia Tech, working for PricewaterhouseCoopers, I ended up in a niche part of the company, designing distribution centers and also looking at network strategies. And so for me, that was my real introduction to supply chain, which is what I study today and what I've been interested in since. And looking back, I don't know if I get that experience if I hadn't followed what interests me and just taught myself AutoCAD when I was 19 years old. The second thing was when I was at University of Texas. One summer I did an internship for a retailer that was looking to grow their operations in Mexico. Now, this project was probably the best thing I've ever worked on. It was the most fascinating project I've ever worked on. I was completely into it. And I wasn't necessarily doing it to get the job afterwards. I just was really challenged by it. I found it fascinating, all the cultural issues that we dealt with. I worked really hard on that all summer, had just a great experience. Now, a few years later, when I went back for my PhD, I used to TA a lot for my advisor, and she took over a course called Introduction to Operations Management in the engineering department. Well, when she took over that course, she wanted to put her stamp on it, and one of the things she wanted to do was introduce a project. We looked around for cases, we looked around for different projects we do. She didn't find anything she really liked. And we got started talking, and we ended up writing a case of our own about a retailer that was trying to improve and grow their operations in a foreign country. The case was a hit. The students loved it. And we taught it for a number of years there. And because they liked it so much, we actually even decided to enter into a case competition at Informs, which is our national OM and OR conference for academics. We actually won that competition, surprisingly, and one of the teams that we beat, or one of the finalists we beat, actually was a couple of Darden professors. And that really was kind of my foot in the door here at Darden, that case competition. And it was just another example where, this challenge that was put forward to me, I didn't really see how it fit in the grand scheme of things, but by just putting my all into it and really tackling the challenge and enjoying it, it led to good things down the line.